the Gale Peterson stock. This is probably the first bird we raised right here, and I don't even know for sure what color that is. Is that a,
What's it, ash red?
ash red? And it's coming on, it's starting to roll, it's rolling pretty good. It's pretty active up in the air. Kind of a medium size, I guess, I would call it medium. I brought this bird along, I'm not sure what it's doing, it's probably not doing much in the air, but it's kind of on the bigger side, I think. And I noticed the birds standing in here too, they look kind of long-legged, I never really saw that before, but you can see it now. I brought this one along just because of the difference in size. Same with this one, now this one gets a little bit smaller, so they come in different varieties too, I guess, in size.
Is that one of the first round two that
Yeah.
light? Now you got a darker,
This would be Ron's first round, these birds.
and you've got another darker tort. I was thinking that was the bird, but that's not it, is it?
Oh, I got a darker one,
Same
they're-
kind of type though, isn't it?
yeah. They're pretty colorful.
Yeah, that's a nice tort.
And these are my, I brought these for John to see. That's the only reason I brought them along. I knew he'd like them. I got the kit the blue bar came out of, they're flying, well, they're flying in the same kit with these birds. And I've got 3 blue bars in there. There's one blue bar that's rolling real well, but I don't know if it's that blue bar or not, but they're all pretty much the same type and size. This one, I thought John would really like it. To me, it's got kind of a overhead. It's even sort of different looking even for those birds. It's got a big ice here. Little pinchy head, which is bad, I guess. One thing about these Gale birds I noticed, they do have nice bright eyes, it seems. You can see why Gale like their eyes.
You're flying those two families together now, I think, right?
That's working real well. I always had trouble with Nebo birds getting up and getting up. And I guess these birds are supposed to get up way too high. Of course, they're young birds, but they fly real nice together. But they're extremes.
Yeah.
I see that.
Take back for Matt Peter. I had sold him some birds. Yeah. Otherwise, there's nothing special about them. There's a recessive red and an ash red. That's a good contrast. You can see the difference between the ash red type and the recessive red.
These are all,
This is
these are out of your old
my
stock?
old family.
Yeah.
In a couple of cases, these are out of young pairs that I just bred. I lost some birds earlier this year to hawks when I first started breeding some good birds. And then I took some of the brothers and sisters of those that were doing well and I mated them up because I was getting some birds. Some of these are out of pairs of young birds. But I guess I like the type of a couple of these bad birds. Maybe especially this one here. This is actually a black bird here. It's out of a black fur. They carry recessive red. That's what I attribute that bronze to.
I find that true in mine too, Ron.
That's going to molt out, I think. But you might see it when you spread the wings open.
You find it tough to give away young birds like this without...
Well, I like a couple of these. I'd really like to see how they do. I hope Matt has some patience. His troop is going to make him have patience. I don't know, maybe they'll never roll, but I like the looks of a couple of them.
Those birds always look so nice. What did you do, wash them up before you brought them?
No, I didn't. I raised them in a rabbit cage, or I weaned them in a rabbit cage, so they were out of their nest. 2 more weeks they'll start molding. They'll look shabby.
I got a whole bunch of birds, young birds.
birds that I got from John White in Iowa, picked up this year, youngsters. These reds over here. Idea of what he's got. This black grizzle, and this red. That's red right here. Black badge, and the tort, and the blue grizzle are birds I raised this year. I like the color of the tortoiseshell here. I believe in that March meeting, I had two of those birds I had gotten from, one I had raised and one I had gotten from Nauer. I put them together and that was one of the offspring right here, this tort, nice colored tort. When it's in the sun, he really does well. And it's starting to turn over pretty well right now. Kind of on the big side, like all the Kelowna birds seem to run, you know, like, you can tell that. But like you said, you get variances too. Now these birds are both the same age, but
The tort is starting to do well, you see in the,
yeah, all right.
I don't think that's really too big.
No, I think that's good to hear.
Are these the stone birds or are these
These are
Nauer
stone.
birds? Huh?
Nauer birds, from Nauer. These I bred myself.
Yeah. But I mean, that's,
Original.
so actually they're kind of about the
They're
same
the
thing
whole
as what
family, they're all the same family.
Gail Peterson.
Gail Peterson,
So the birds that you brought up from John White, were they Nauer birds originally too then, or would they be stone?
They're a combination of stone, Nauers, and John Whites.
How do those stone birds look, just like the rest of the clones, like you?
Pretty much,
Same thing.
pretty much, yeah.
Did John White have any of the Gail Peterson birds?
No, I think Dick's got a lot. I think the John White is kind of babysitting Dick's for as well. Dick experiments with. He's real happy with Gale's.
I think John's got a couple of them down there.
Does he?
Yeah.
He's got some youngsters, I know that. John Dick brought us some youngsters.
Tell me, have you seen any Kowalski's birds recently? I was wondering, since he's breeding a little different type, whether they diverge like what your birds look like.
I've never seen Dick Kowalski
These are always so small. I
Yeah,
never
he
used
liked
to
the
bring
small
them to
birds.
meetings.
You know, he was into this real short breastbone thing, and I was just wondering, you know, what they look like compared. To start out with the same stock.
Yeah, to see which directions we go. It's the same family, but just different branches. What it does. Which is good for, you know, to get a little bit of different, not different blood, but just different strain of family.
This one right here is an old bird, and let's see, what year is it? 87. I got a couple birds of the same family, and they look somewhat alike. But what's interesting is that they've got a real nice tight roll, reasonably deep, but they don't want to kit. He doesn't want to kit very well. He won't stay with the kit. He'll either flap above or off to the side somewhere. And he's, from my point of view, he's got poor control in his roll because he seems to be excited too much by the kit when he gets close to it. You know, he's not one of these birds that will be stable and only roll with the kit, and seems to stick with it. And so I find that interesting, whether it's maybe he's lacking in muscle or what other people think they're looking for in a good stable kit flyer, but this is not it.
But he's really a good.
Yeah. Whereas this bird right here is last year's bird, and this turns out to be a bird which is a very good stable kit flyer. He's a little different breeding than that one, but he's a little heavier through the body. He's a little more muscular, a little bigger bird, and now he's looking kind of tough, but he's been a very consistent performer. About medium depth, meaning you'll go down about 15 feet, and fairly frequent. And this one is a hen. Both of those are cocks. And I just brought her along just for the heck of it because I think it's a bird that maybe I'd mate for that one. I don't think she's, well, because she's what I consider rather smallish, nice type. She's a good kit flyer, but she's not a good kit roller. But since she's a stable bird anyway, I would meter to probably either one of those birds and see what I got out of it.
You would breed out of the outflyer?
No, yeah, I'd breed out of an outflyer if I liked the way he rolled. If he had a nice tight deep roll, I would try some birds and see what happens. I guess my reasoning is that it seems to me that in breeding rollers, you're always going to have a certain amount of instability there. And if you get rid of all your instability, you're going to end up with some birds that aren't performing. So you got to do some mixing and matching there in order to keep it in there. And so occasionally I'll take a bird that seems to be too excessive and try and mate up to something which, like her, maybe is not much of a roller, but it's a good kit flyer. And occasionally I get some young birds out of that. You know, there are good birds and worth having.
That's my problem, I've been getting rid of all of them frequent outflyers.
Well, you know, Pensum had these theories on color and so on, and he was at one point back there in the 60s, he got concerned his birds were getting too infrequent, too stable.
Came out my all his family. I'm really happy with her. She's grown to about 10,